Howdy guys, Bookie Laura here. I don't ordinarily do these sort of normal wrap-up videos, but this month I took part in Middle Grade March and I just kind of wanted to wrap that up. So this isn't my monthly wrap-up, although it is all the books that I've read this month. This is my Middle Grade March wrap-up. For those of you who don't know, I'm a school teacher, and for that reason, and also because I love them, I do read a lot of middle grade fiction. So I was really excited when I heard about Middle Grade March and immediately wanted to take part. I've found books that met the challenges, I think, if I remember them rightly, but I also read a few others as well. And I think I've had a fairly successful month. I mean, I'm pretty pleased with it. So where to start? We'll start with this one. I have no idea the order that I read these, so I'm just going to go for it. So the first book that I'm going to tell you about is The Silver Sword by Ian Seralia. I read this to satisfy two of the challenges. It was to read a book from my childhood, as this was a book that a teacher read to me when I was at school and I couldn't remember the plot. Which isn't a surprise because I can't remember the plot of books that I read last week, let alone books that I read when I was a child. But basically it follows the story of some children through Nazi Germany and yeah, their kind of tragic life story. I read this to fulfill the challenge of, a book from my childhood, but also a classic, because it is a classic. It pretty much says that all over it, and it was written a long time ago. I don't remember when, but a long time ago. All of these books I have reviewed in my mini reviews video, so if you want to know more about them, then go check them out there. But basically, I mean, this was okay, but it felt very childish. There was no depth to it, no sort of real drive. Then another book I read to satisfy a challenge was Goodnight Stories for Rebel Girls. This is a book that I was really excited about reading because I am a massive feminist and I love to read about powerful women and amazing women and all the achievements that they've made. So I was really excited to read it. I was left with feeling like I wanted more, would be how I would sum this up, but I think for children it's a real good introduction to a lot of amazing women. And this satisfied the challenge of non-fiction. I think that was that one. Then I also read The Kite Rider by Geraldine McCorian, or something like that. I read this because there was a challenge to read a book which had won an award, and this one has. It was what I would describe as being a very pretty book. Not very exciting book, so it was alright. It was alright. And then the final book which I read as part of a challenge was Percy Jackson and the Sea of Monsters. Read a book which has been made into a film. I really like the Percy Jackson books. I love the writing style. But as with most series, I think I begin to find them quite repetitive and I feel like I need a break in between them. So whilst I'm loving them, I'm not going to be like flying through the series in one big foul swoop, you know what I mean? I'm going to break it up a bit. After that, I then just went onto my bookshelves and read some books which I'd acquired. So I then read James Clyde and the Diamonds of Orchestra by Colm McElwyn. This was a book I was sent for free, which was really kind. And again, if you want to know more about what I think of these, then you can go and see that on my mini reviews videos where I summarise plot and my feelings. But if I were to sum this up in a sentence, it would be like, great book, terrible cover. Oh, I feel bad for the person that designed it, but it just doesn't fit. It's not that it's a bad cover, it just doesn't fit the rest of the book, if you get where I'm coming from. It doesn't fit the tone. Then I read Knights of the Borrowed Dark. I loved this. It's by Dave Redden, saw him at Salisbury Literary Festival, and boy did I love this book. It is so beautifully written. I'm not a massive fan of fantasy, not at all. It's not a genre that's top of my list, and I loved it. I can imagine if I were a fan of fantasy, then this would have definitely got 5 stars out of me. That's the only thing that sort of put me off, I think, is that it's just not a genre that I favour. Then I was very excited to read A Witch Alone by James Nichol. This I picked up, I ordered it because it was a pre-order, and I read Apprentice Witch last year and loved it. Loved it. And so I straight away knew that I was going to need to read the sequel. Luckily for me, I read the two like not quite close together, whereas now I've read A Witch Alone pretty much the week it was released. I feel like I've got a long wait for the next book in the series. But if you liked The Apprentice Witch, you'll love this. It's kind of like that Harry Potter / Worst Witch mixed together, I suppose. I really like that Ariane Wen, the main character, is just normal. I feel like Harry Potter was always kind of... There was something about him which he was incredible, he was amazing. Ariane Wen, bless her heart, is not. Although she is incredible and amazing, she is also a complete clumsy fool and gets stuff wrong. Now the final book, which I have read as part of middle grade March, is Nevermore, The Trials of Morrigan Crow by Jessica Townsend. As you can see, I haven't actually finished it, but I'm filming this a few days before the end of March, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to get this done because it's bank holiday weekend. What else am I going to do? And my word, do I love this book. I mean, I'm quite excited to do a mini review of this book because there's something about it, and I can't even put my finger on what it is, but the pacing is so right and the world building, and it is just an incredible book. This is, at the moment, although I haven't finished, at the moment I'm imagining this is going to be a 5-star read because I just love it. I can't read it enough. Like, I carry it around with me everywhere, and I just want to... I'm just really enjoying the story, and it's very rare for me that I don't want a book to end because I'm quite a completionist. I love to finish things. This is a book that I don't want to end. And I'd be very interested to know if it's going to be a series. It must be, because it feels like Nevermore, The Trials of Morrigan Crow, like you could have more Nevermore books. Who knows? Who knows? So these beasties are the book which I read as part of middle grade March. I love middle grade. I've really enjoyed taking part in a middle grade readathon, and I feel like it's been, you know, pretty successful. But I must admit that now I'm craving something different. I think I'm going to go for an adult book next, and then get stuck into some YA books that I've got hanging around. There are so many books that I'm so excited about reading, and I've got 2 weeks off work, and I'm very, very excited about putting that to good use. So I think I'm going to read The Immortalists by Chloe Benjamin. This is a book that I've been given, and the plot just blows me away. It's like, imagine if you... I think it's to do with imagine if you knew when you were going to die. It must be, because it's called Immortalist. There's got to be something to do with dying. Oh, although I have got Obsidio, which I picked up recently, which I'm really excited to read to finish the series. And then I have also got Children of Blood and Bone. There is so much that I want to read right now that I feel it's actually, for the first time ever, it's going to be a really tough decision about what to read next. If you took part in middle grade March, then please let me know so I can go and check out your videos and see how you got on. And help me decide what to read next. Please do, because I am literally like, I don't know. There's too much I want to read. Thanks for watching, guys, anyway, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.